Paul Newman's name is practically synonymous with Hollywood, but beneath the fame and fortune lay the scars of a terrible family tragedy. It's possible that nobody understood the highs and lows of stardom better than Paul Newman, a Hollywood icon. Newman is often heralded as one of the greatest actors to ever live, and for good reason. With his unmatchable charisma, magnetic looks, and disarming sensitivity, he built a legacy as a performer, a philanthropist, and a family man.
Why should I be scared of you?
Because I got a reputation for being a dangerous man.
But all of the attention had a major drawback, with the icon often being described as a high-functioning alcoholic. Tragically, substance abuse seemed to run in the family, with one of his children, Scott Newman, succumbing to a lethal overdose at the age of 28. Scott Newman was born on September 23, 1950, in New York City. He was the first of 3 children born to Paul Newman and his first wife, Jackie Witt. From a young age, Scott was said to exhibit hyperactive behavior, with his restlessness and anger earning him the unflattering nickname Mad Scott. His childhood followed a typical pattern for children of high-profile people, as he was raised in the middle of a whirlwind of attention. Scott grew up in Los Angeles, in a home with 5 other siblings, 3 of whom shared a mother and Paul's second wife, Joanne Woodward. As the son of 2 major Hollywood actors, Scott's everyday life was bombarded by agents of the press and his parents' fans. Perhaps to help cope with the unusual circumstances, the young Newman began indulging in drugs and alcohol at a young age. As he emerged from adolescence, his reliance on alcohol and other substances only got worse. Good-looking, able-bodied, and seemingly destined for success, Scott Newman was set to thrive as a stuntman and actor in the same industry as his father. He took on various roles in film production, but maintained his income through odd jobs and money borrowed from friends. Unfortunately, most of this went toward his vices. He once said, "Everyone assumes I have tremendous funds, but I haven't got a cent." Scott Newman's behavior became increasingly problematic over time, as his self-destructive tendencies made him publicly reckless. In one incident that made national headlines, he left a bar drunk and slashed the tires of a school bus. When police arrived, he made things worse by engaging in a physical altercation with them. Not even being arrested managed to calm him down. While he was being transported to the police station, he was allegedly able to get his feet into the air and kick the driver in the head. Following the arrest, Scott's many issues became a matter of public record. For a short time afterward, Scott managed to clean up his act, reportedly quitting drinking and focusing on his health and career. But the change didn't last. Everything came to a head in Los Angeles when on November 20th, 1978, Scott was found dead after consuming a lethal combination of tranquilizers, pain pills, and alcohol in his hotel room. A New York Times article published later that day read, "Mr. Newman was taking pain pills for injuries suffered in a motorcycle accident, and they are presuming, pending an autopsy, that those pills combined alcohol to cause an overdose." One of Scott's friends suggested that the pressure of living up to his father might have fueled his death, but another friend pushed back on this narrative. They said, Scott didn't die because he was a celebrity's kid. He died because he had a terrible disease called alcoholism, and alcoholism doesn't care who your father is. Paul Newman plunged himself into his work after Scott's death, and after enough time had passed, the Newman family established the Scott Newman Center for Drug Abuse Prevention. Paul later shared, "The biggest problem is when the subject is swept under the carpet. You have to keep the lines of communication open." When pressed on whether he kept such lines open with his son, Newman said, "I don't know. I really can't answer that." If you or anyone you know is struggling with addiction issues, help is available. Visit the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration website or contact SAMHSA's National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP 4357.